Good morning and welcome to the morning analysis on Monday the 23rd of August. I hope you all had a lovely weekend. Friday was a little bit of a choppy day, served up I think a few nasty sort of spikes here and there, and I hope that the majority of you managed to stay away, locked up the pip tin and left the market as she was. This morning we come in and, as you can probably see, we have quite a bit of news out this morning. Majority of it on the euro, in fact all of it on the euro, starting with French flash manufacturing PMI, then French flash services PMI, followed by German flash manufacturing PMI and services PMI, and then just the whole eurozone manufacturing PMI and services PMI at 9. Coming into this afternoon, we have European consumer confidence. I would expect this figure to not be so good, so do keep your eye on that one. Although it's not really a huge indicator to us or to traders around the world, I would keep your eye on it. It could be quite interesting if that comes in anywhere minus 10. Anywhere greater than minus 10 would be incredibly bad. And then, of course, you can see 3:30 this afternoon. Does it look like we're going to be trading? I don't think so. Not if he's speaking. And he could kick up the market this afternoon. However, coming into tomorrow, you can see that key news tomorrow is mainly out on CAD and dollar, with core retail sales from Canada, followed by existing home sales at 3 o'clock tomorrow in the US. Those are some of the figures to look forward to. I don't think we've got too much to worry about today. Obviously, the euro will be the pair to be watching first thing. Anyway, let's move on to our euro and let's see what she's done since Friday. Obviously, this was a move on Friday, spiking down through that monthly pivot zone. Once she got down there, you can see now settling, very clearly settling below monthly pivot. Weekly pivot has crossed back down for the first time through the monthly pivot in quite a while. This means for me, my entry short, because it will be short with the trend now, will be off the 127.60-70 mark, monthly pivot, weekly pivot, 4 hourly 20, and I have a stop just above this 128.05. So, first things first, this morning we've broken the range. Fantastic. We've broken the range. We now have the weekly pivot crossing through that. Why have I got a red one there? We've got our weekly pivot crossing through our monthly pivot, and we have a possible zone for a trade south. Anywhere off this weekly pivot, monthly pivot zone, I am looking to get short to build a longer term position now to follow this trend right the way down. And the reason I say it now is because that weekly pivot and monthly pivot have crossed for the first time. So I'm looking for a kiss entry off the previous support, which should now act as resistance, with a stop above the high, or a stop above that resistance level at 128.15. Just safe enough, far enough away to give me room to play. Okay, now euro does show me a slightly different picture to cable, and if I move across to cable, I would say cable is still in that zone, still remaining supported here. And if I just take off this trend line now, you can see, yes, we did get a creation of a lower low, but we have moved back into the range over the weekend, and if anywhere was a place to go short, it is up at this weekly pivot where we sit right now. However, my bias does not remain to the south with cable, I'm afraid, and it's strange because obviously correlation would say cable and euro would follow one another. However, here I'm more in the favour of waiting for a break back down through that daily pivot before I try and second guess the market. Yes, she is sitting on my 4 hourly 20. Yes, it's the first kiss after a major silver cross, but no, for me it is not a trade at this moment in time, just because I think she looks definitely stronger than euro dollar, and if euro dollar does decide to go another 50-60 points to the upside, then cable can break through this 60-minute 20 and move back up to those highs. Okay, let's have a look at euro sterling. I think interestingly enough, euro sterling, if we put her on a 4 hourly, is coming back down towards these lows at 80.50. Must keep an eye on that. Once she gets down towards that level, we know that there will be a certain amount of reaction off that. Why? Just because she's bounced there previously, and also coming down towards a key psychological barrier of 8000. So again, could possibly be a kiss play off there if she gets down there today. CAD yen. CAD yen's back on the lows. Of course, down here I'd start favouring buying, coming back in, pushing us back up towards 82.70, although no opportunities as of yet. I would say now we've got to see a direct hit of 8100, and then there may well be a possibility. Euro yen as well looks weak, like euro dollar. She broke out of her triangle on Friday, pulled back in right up until the close on Friday night, and then obviously Sunday just pushed her back down. No setup at this moment in time, but we'll be keeping my eye on her. Sterling yen remains inside. However, we did get a fake break or a breakout on Friday. Let's wait to see what happens here today. Let's see if she wants to hold or whether she is just going to make a tumbling move back down. For me at this moment in time, she looks like she is trying to hold off on this 132, 133 level. So for my money, it's just worth avoiding that one for now. Right, into the other dollar pairs. Try and get them all on the screen. Okay. Dollar CAD, major silver cross went. Obviously we discussed how they just go and you can never get into the major silver crosses. Then broke through monthly pivot, weekly pivot on Friday. Also broke through two of our daily resistance levels. As you can see, triangle down, we've broken up through that level, and now if she's going to gain the momentum, we need to be looking for a play to build to the upside. Where are we going to get that from? Let's have a look at the hourly. Hourly, we've consolidated all night, all Friday as well. Consolidated up at this 104, just below the 105 level. Ooh, do I really want to buy into 105? Not really. Let's come back to that because I'm not 100% sure. I don't really want to be buying into a psychological barrier. The trade may well be above 105. Break, pull back on top of 105, then long. I'll keep you up to date with that. I'll post if I like it, but at the moment I'm a bit skeptical. She's gone 400 points, 300 points without me. Right, dollar Swiss. Dollar Swiss, where do we start? Let's have a look at the daily range. Yeah, we're out of the daily range. Let's have a look at this down here. We've broken down off the 4-hourly 20, double top here at the 104.50 level as we discussed on Wednesday and Thursday. Moved down, pulled back into that 4-hourly 20, previous resistance support level now acting as resistance. And again, this morning or overnight in the Asian session, they have pushed her back down. The question is, can she go much further? For me, and I think probably for the majority of people here, we are still within the zone. No candle here has set below this 103.30 level. Each one has held above, and that makes me slightly skeptical about taking shorts here. And in fact, as you know, looking for dollar strength, I would suggest a break of that weekly pivot is going to see a move back up into 104.50 and then potentially even back through to 105. So although the averages are telling me one thing, the longer term support levels are telling me just to hold off here because we've got all these candles setting above. With that in mind, I'm going to be looking for potential strength coming in, dollar strength and Swissy weakness, and that pushing us back through the weekly pivot for a possible trade. Okay, that's what I'm going to be looking for. I'm not going to change that view. That's all I can do. Now, Aussie dollar, I need to just quickly clean up this chart. Pivots seem to be in the wrong position. Are trading above our daily pivot. We are still holding onto this support level. However, we are now entering into a new phase. We do have the 4-hourly 20 through that daily 20 for the first time. And what we need to be looking for here is a double top, I believe, off and around that weekly pivot zone. So let's keep our eye on that first thing this morning. Double top up here. Possible trade short off the weekly pivot. Stop just above the 4-hourly 20. Nice resistance play. Two lining up together and play down towards 88, 89 before we get our stop to break even and then look to hold. Okay, so the order of the day for here will be 89.35 for a short play. Stop at 89.58, and if I just put that in, sorry, it's 89.30 with a stop at 89.58, then targeting a move to daily pivot for stop to break even. Right, I better get on, get this up, ready for you guys, and I will speak to you at 7 in the live room.